Hi, I'm Darla Karen.
And I'm Karen Schwenzig.
And we are going to show you how to make a heart pillow with the half heart template.
And from Winter Designs.
Yes, and this is an 11 by 11 and 3/4. And what I've done is I've taken and prepared my fabric by sewing 8.5 inches of this red and white, and then 4.5 inches of navy blue with stars in it. And I've taken and folded it over just enough. And one way of checking, because I already cut one off of this one off the other end, I could adjust it and just do it from this side and then cut the next one, or I can just go to the other side.
The other end.
And
you can do this in many different colors. Like for Mother's Day, these floral fabrics, and this button fabric is so cute that matches. Would be great for like a Mother's Day, or you could do it up for like Valentine's and red and pink fabrics. Any kind of thing for this pillow.
Kid fabrics would be fun too.
Yep.
And the heart templates come in all different sizes, but also different styles. I've got a longer, thinner heart that you can use. But you can do this kind of project with a number of templates. So it could be a star, change the fabric out, and I have snowmen. And I like the idea of taking the two fabrics and piecing them together. Darla, talk about what you did with your seam allowance when you after you finished sewing. Did you press them?
I pressed them towards the dark. And then that way, then the fabric doesn't show on the dark, or the dark on the light.
As a general rule of thumb, I almost always iron my seams to the dark, because then you don't see that seam allowance behind. So unless a pattern says do something differently, that's a general rule of thumb.
And the other nice thing about having a seam that's in your project somewhere, you can also use that for a turning area.
Yes, you can leave a hole in that seam in the heart if you want, and then that could help you turn it inside out after you've got it sewn together. Or you can leave a hole on the straight side at the bottom of the heart, and then you just carefully hand stitch it closed, and then you won't really see the seam.
And so then I'm going to take and I'm going to pin the two layers, good side to good side, and match up the seams.
And you don't need a stabilizer on here, but if you did want to give it a little bit more of a lofty look, you could put batting on there and do some just straight quilting if you wanted to. So there are lots of options here.
I think in not just a pillow, yes. If you did some batting and did some little bit of quilting on there, I think it'd make a nice tableware accessory.
Exactly. And if you did Insulbright inside, then you could make a hot pad.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and you probably have scraps around of batting and Insulbright and Timtex and Peltex and all that. You know, you're going to get a completely different look if you're doing something like Timtex or Peltex, but think about hot pads and placemats and the coasters and mug rugs and all of those kinds of things too. And this is fairly large, but I have smaller hearts that you could do the same process but stuff them. And if you've seen any of the projects that I've shown that Joni has done, Joni does a lot of projects like this, and I think they're really cute, especially the smaller ones when she stuffs them. They call them bowl fillers, and when you make a whole bunch of them and stick them in a bowl for decoration, they turn out really cute.
Make sure you pull the pins before you get there, otherwise you're going to break your needle. Don't ask me how I know that.
And you've talked about needle down a lot. If you have needle down on your machine,
yep,
that makes a big difference.
And that's what I'm doing now. The bigger curve I can kind of get around, but like if you the V in the center of the heart, if I have my needle down, it's easy to flip it around. And then I notice, then I can check, like I pulled up there and I swiveled it and I wasn't quite far enough to start a 1/4 inch seam going back up. So I swiveled it back, did one more stitch, and then I was far enough. But I can manipulate it around this big curve without having to stop and swivel it too much. But I'll be doing the check here in the bottom of the heart as well. See, now I check, but it's still, I need one more stitch. I'm just not quite far enough. There we go.
And like a 2.5 inch opening.
2.5 inch opening, so about there.
Yeah, that should be enough.
Okay. Bring my needle back up. Cut my threads.
And then I would trim the corners to miter so that you don't have all the bulk in them, as well as trimming in the V part of the heart itself. And you want to go right up to without cutting the threads. And then for this area,
Do you need the pinking shears?
you could pink shear them.
You can do the pinking shears on the upper curves, or you can just clip.
Or you can clip around the edges. Just
Like every 1/2 inch or so, because it's a pretty big curve.
Yeah.
Just make sure you don't cut those threads, or you're going to be resewing that line.
I like pinking shears because I don't have to think about it.
Yes.
Most of the time when I'm sewing something, I'm already tired. So I tend to make mistakes. So pinking shears, if you don't own pinking shears, I think it's a great investment.
It is an investment, yeah.
And now, in the old days, you could find them on sale, 50% off. I don't know if Hobby Lobby still does that or not, but when you see them on sale, it's a good time to grab them.
I do believe they still have scissor sales, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
telling this.
Fiskars usually have
Yeah.
on sale.
I think we're in for some changing times with Joanne's not being here anymore. We'll see what other stores do. If they'll step up and give us good deals, or if they'll make it tougher on us.
I know.
Because now we don't have the good old
40%
standard.
off all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Or the 25% off the whole order type thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good old days.
All right.
And then once you have it clipped around, then it's a matter of turning it inside out.
And I've got a bag of polyfill that's over there. I don't know if you can grab.
Let me see if I can go grab that. Look, polyfill.
I tend to, when I am decorating, I go through stages where I like certain pillows and then I don't like them anymore. So instead of throwing them away, I deconstruct and I take the stuffing out, and then I might make like a hot pad or a couple mug rugs out of the pillow. And or I cut them up and use them as rags or whatever. So so sometimes, like, this isn't really good polyfill. I forgot it's stiff, but still the idea of having a polyfill, and you all have your favorites. Yes, this may not be the best solution. That's why I didn't show it the other day. I forgot that it's kind of wonky.
There we go.
Good job, Darla.
I'll get it.
Anyway, you guys get the idea of stuffing a pillow.
And if you like this design, you could jazz this up too with like some rickrack between
yeah.
on the seam line,
Yeah.
or all kinds
Or
of
if you're a
things.
lace type person, you could put lace in it too.
Yeah. Yeah, and you could even put a handle from the left side to the right side,
There you go.
you know, to hang it on a door, a smaller one with a pocket. And again, for Mother's Day, you put a little note in there and maybe, you know, a gift card to their favorite, you know, pedicure place or whatever. So imagine how cute that will be as a pillow. But again, you have lots and lots of options. The idea of taking two fabrics and combining them, I think, is just a really nice way to jazz up something that's, you know, maybe, you know, blue and white stars, red and white stripes by themselves, not so great, but look how cute this is as a patriotic project. So perfect. Well, thank you guys.
You're welcome.
All right, you can find the templates, winnerdesigns.com, and my YouTube videos, it's Linda Videos, and I've got 270 something now videos for you to play with. And a lot of them are Darla. Not a lot, but I've got several of Darla, and now we've got Karen that's done several. I've got lots of new videos that we've been filming this week, so stay tuned and look for the two sisters in maybe 8 videos? How many? 7 videos?
7. Well, 8 for me and 9 for you.
Yes, we got a lot of videos for y'all to check out. Thanks, guys.